This is my third video of the day, and it's like 1 in the morning. Assassin's Creed. The video games, not the video game series. I never played any of the video game series, but if you like video games, it's kind of hard not to hear about Assassin's Creed. It's a cult classic. Everyone plays it. Again, earlier today, I was talking to my friend on Discord, and um, I mentioned that one of the worst movies I've ever seen was Assassin's Creed recently. And the only reason why I saw it was on Netflix, and I knew the video game. I knew nothing about everything else. So I was like, maybe I'll just waste an afternoon or two and watch it. And so I did. I wasted an afternoon or two and watched the entire thing. Okay, so um, background information. Assassin's Creed, if no one knows, is a video game series that came out pretty long ago, like in the 2000s, if I remember correctly. And it was a big hit. It's basically you're an assassin and you have a goal. And I don't know, again, I never played any, but I just know it's really famous and it looks amazing. Um, and I can't really say I like the game or I hate the game, but my overall vibes I got from the video game series itself was very positive, especially even with the new release Valhalla coming out came out, I'm pretty sure. It's still been like, it's always been a positive series in my head, and when I first watched the movie, it also I came in with a positive mindset. And so the summary of Assassin's Creed the movie, I'm just gonna call it Assassin's Creed. Um so it starts off with a kid biking, like riding a bike through like buildings, and then he like falls, so he's hurt, and he sees an eagle, and then he goes back home, and then what does he see? His dad killed his mom, and then the police came, and so he runs, and then time skip. That kid is all grown up now. He's like 20 something years old, and he's now being sentenced to death for murder, and he gets put on the electric chair. I'm shocked. Now definitely a start to a film. It's not the greatest start, but it does leave you a lot of questions. And even though it's a bit fast paced, you kind of expect something from like a video game adaptation. So it turns out this guy's not actually dead, and he's being brought back to life by this organization. And this organization's goal is to use this machine to bring out your ancestors' memories from their DNA through you. And this machine is basically a giant VR machine. And so you can basically experience, see, feel, and do whatever your ancestor was doing like a couple thousand years ago. The reason why this guy was specifically chosen was he had the blood of an assassin. And this assassin, his ancestor, was part of the Assassin's Creed, name drop, the Brotherhood, whatever. And their goal was to protect this apple. It's not a literal apple, but it was like a sphere with like genetic information within. BS, I know, but just roll with it. And so this Assassin's Creed, his ancestors had to protect them, and the basically the church of like the medieval era of like the witch hunts and stuff like that. Um, they wanted to get it because they believed that if they had it, they could um, use the genetic information inside to control rule people, because the genetic information contained inside was the human genetic code for free will. I'm not even sure if something like that exists, but again, it's a video game plot. Just roll with it. And so the guy is like skeptical at first, but then he's found out that his dad is also at the facility. Um, he meets him, and then his dad basically says, "I killed your mom for the organization, for the Brotherhood. The Assassin's Creed is still alive, and it's in your blood. And so the main character gets pissed off by it, and so basically he says, "Frick you, Assassin's Creed! You killed my mom. I'm gonna go with the bad guys." So he works with the bad guys, and um, amazing VR moments. I have to say, like CG use is pretty good for those like the VR technology, and the whole conflict the main character has between should I help the bad guys or should I help my ancestors is kind of like, you know, it was kind of refreshing to see someone actually, fall for the bad trick and not just be like, I'm gonna be the hero because that's what I'm destined to do. I like that plot, and so I had pretty good vibes throughout the first part of the movie. And when the action part came out, when the VR part came out, your memory part, that's just good action. Like you don't even need the story; you just watch it for the good action. Pretty well choreographed. Kind of bullshit, but like, whatever. It's an action movie. I just watch it for the action. It's, testosterone go boom, and you return to the the actual world, and then you kind of sad that the action ended, but it's whatever. And then later, he kind of like has a revelation. The main character, like they find the apple thanks to him, and then the evil organization was like, "Haha, you didn't know we were evil, right? Well, we are. We're gonna try and rule the world." And the main character was like, "Oh yeah, you're the bad guys." And then like he goes to his dad and he's like, "Sorry, Dad, I actually like you now. I know why you killed our family. Hehe, I'm gonna go kill those people that I just literally helped them find like the most powerful thing they think you want." And then he basically the whole facility has like a big prison fight, and then apparently they all have like, because their ancestors were great fighters, the genetic memories pass through them, and so also they can fight well now. Bullshit, but okay. So basically the prisoners are like trained assassins now, and so they fight with the guards, and then um but then the bad guys escape from by a helicopter, and then the main character is just like, well, what do we do now? And so what do they do? Well, during the bad guy's presentation on like, hey, we found the apple that we wanted. Well, the guy just literally drops down and kills the guy and takes the apple back, and then that's how the movie ends. They take the apple back, and that's how the movie ends. That's the summary. Now, if you didn't understand the thing I said, and you're like, maybe I'll just go, watch a movie. No, just read the summary online. Don't watch the movie. It's shit. The first half, like honestly, like I said, it gave me positive vibes. I like the action choreograph. The story was kind of refreshing to see a different protagonist. Uh, but then it suddenly like drops down to like dog shit, like garbage pile. Um, in that like none of the characters felt like they had a personality. They just felt like blank whiteboards that the writers wrote something on whenever they feel like it. There was this whole like romance thing going on with like the evil scientist and the main character, but like not really romance, like a love hate relationship. And then I kind of like didn't understand what was whole going on. And then like, yeah, the first half was pretty good. Then like after they find the apple, execution was just like terrible. They found the apple, and then what did they do? They literally just start, the main character suddenly just figures out, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And then there's not even like no repercussion. Like none of the other prisoners try to like, you know, be like, hey, I know we try to kill you to stop you, but and yeah, we were right. You shouldn't give them the apple. I mean, he didn't even apologize, and then it's like, oh my god, that's such a dog shit. Like none of the characters felt like they were characters anymore after that scene. So, and the last part, it was very very rushed. Like I don't know what they were doing with the ending. It's like they literally had the apple back, and that's the movie end. They killed the leader, and you expect that to be the end of like a what the buildup was. Like buildup was 90%, and then like the ending was like, like 10, not even 10% to be feel like it. Like how do you expect viewers to like this? It's literally like, oh my, it's I don't even know how to like what to compare it with. It's like literally like you're working hard, studying hard, oh, for it to be summer break, and then you end your finals, and then summer break hits, but summer break is 2 days, and then you go back to school. It literally felt like that. Like the ending was shit. That's all I could say. It was just shit. It was just so poorly written. None of the characters felt like they had the personalities before, and they just it's like suddenly, oh, we forgot everything that was before. We forgive you that you are helping the bad guys, and then the main character is like, I forgot I helped the bad guys. Now they're my enemy. And then the head scientist is like, my dad doesn't recognize my work, but that's kind of okay. But then that's also kind of not okay. What do I feel like it? The movie doesn't tell us. She doesn't even tell us because she's a blackboard. Like, what are you on about? So, in conclusion, up until the point of when they find the apple, it's a good movie. I won't say a great movie, it's an okay to good movie. I like the action, even though it's kind of bullshit, the action scenes, you kind of expect that. It's the same feeling you get while watching Marvel movies or like any superhero movie. You kind of watch it for the CG and like what kind of action scenes they can think of. It's kind of that feeling. I don't care how bullshit it is, you kind of want to see people fighting. And it's the eagle sound effect and the eagle reference. I don't even know where that game came from. I'm guessing from a video game, but if it's not, it's kind of overused. I didn't like it. But other than that, it was fine. The first parts was kind of fine, and like how they spoke Italian in like the memory scenes to be more immersive. I honestly liked it. I like when people speak different languages. Um, but then literally after they find the apple again, like it's that apple, freaking apple. Apples that are like what do you even gonna do when you find the genetic code for um genetic code for free will? Like you're not gonna go to every person. It's like, hey, I'm going to search your whole entire body for this exact piece of genetic code and just literally remove it from you. You can't do that. It's not gonna do anything. Like I'm not even. And like the assassins are like, we have to protect this. And so what do? We're gonna give it to someone else and not throw it down the bottom of the ocean. It's just like why? Just why? And then I hate how the characters interact. Okay, I'm sorry I keep coming back to this point, but it's literally they keep coming back to after the apple is found. Everyone's character personality traits and everything is just changed to become bland. And it felt like they kind of half ran out of time, half ran out of money, half were lazy. And that's like three halves, which is like shit movie just because the ending. A movie should be its best at ending, at least make an ending. That wasn't even ending. It just ended. That's different from an ending. 2 out of 10. Honestly, even though the first parts were pretty good, it just pissed me off so much. I get why video game movies have such a bad rep, because they're mostly shit. But like some of them are actually good. I'll talk about them a couple later. Now I'm tired. I wanna go watch anime. I'm gonna upload this now. Thanks.